Hello, my name is Sad Dad. Today we will be discussing audio on your stream and the way to improve your audio quality of your stream at no cost to you and prepare you for the professional Shure SM7B or other XLR microphone setups. I personally have been using these programs for almost a year on my stream, which runs Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Central. If you have any questions after this guide, feel free to drop by or simply ask in our mentorship channel in the Discord community. Also, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this or leave a comment with what you would like to see next. The first step will be downloading the software. I will include this in the information below. Once you have that downloaded, go ahead and run Voicemeeter Banana. Before we get into setting default devices, what I want you to do is to go through this and start deselecting all of these items that you may see selected, whether it be inputs, outputs, just leave it as a blank slate. I'm giving you my current setup just in case you're the kind of person who just likes to see what you can get and then just emulate it, adjust from there. There are going to be 3 sections that you can see on this page. The first section here is going to be your hardware inputs to receive sound. This is where we're going to be placing our microphone as well as our VB virtual audio cable output. The second portion, you will see a input and an aux virtual output. You can use one or both of these, but we will be using the virtual aux. The third portion here is the main outputs to hear sound. This is where your headphones will be receiving sound and where we will also be recording that sound that is heard. Whenever you're ready to go silent, change your default audio to VB aux input and VB aux output respectively. Whenever you're ready, you're going to perform 2 steps silently. You're going to pull up your sound control panel, and I recommend you keep music running during this time because with this up, you're going to go completely silent, and whenever it's actually active, you want to be able to hear that sound immediately to ensure that you've selected the right steps. With Voicemeeter aux input selected as your default device, both under playback and recording, you will be able to move to the next step. The second step to this is going to be selecting A1 under your hardware out. Here, you have a couple of options to select. Now, you will see both WDM and MME as options. WDM stands for Windows Driver Model, which has improved performance and latency over standard type drivers in Windows-based systems only. MME stands for Microsoft Multimedia Environment and is supported in almost all PC audio applications. KS is for low latency. For right now, we're just selecting the audio device that we will be hearing through. For most of you, this will be WDM. This does not mean that it will be recorded, but simply that you can hear it. With that set up, you will be able to go to now Voicemeeter aux and select A1 so that audio will go ahead and be heard. Some choices can be made about what audio you want sent to your virtual inputs, but we will stick to the basics here. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, drop a comment or mention a question in the community for more depth, and we will make a second video. So you can receive sound thanks to your VB cable output, but is it recording? Not quite yet. In order for this to happen, we will see 2 more boxes. Under hardware out, drop down A2 and select cable input. All audio sent here will be sent to cable output. Under hardware input 2, select cable output VB. Next, select A2. Send all of that audio back to Voicemeeter aux by selecting B2. To test this, run an instance of OBS and ensure your mic/aux is running. Pulling OBS over, you can see right here, my mic/aux is the singular input that I have for my audio mixer. Though you may see more, what we're going to do is select Settings, go to Audio, and under mic/auxiliary audio, select Voicemeeter aux output. Everything else should be disabled. Select OK. At this point, you may hide all your additional outputs, but be sure to keep OBS up so you know what's going where and if the outputs are working for you. For these next steps, you're simply going to be doing the same process but with your microphone. To get your microphone audio working and recording, select your microphone under one of the additional inputs, one being my preference. At this point, there is an optional step that you can perform that if you would like to hear your own audio, or maybe you're testing your own audio, you may select A1 as an option here so you can hear your own audio. Moving on, make sure you select B2 to send that to Voicemeeter aux. From this point, your chain is complete. For Discord, ensure that you set your mic to hardware input 1 and the output as Voicemeeter aux input. You can test this by selecting Let's Check, where you should be able to hear yourself. You should not hear any audio from your desktop, but just the audio from your microphone. From this point, there's a few improvements that you can make upon your sounds to improve both the output and input. I will show you what I use and recommend that you adjust these to your levels and make them what you prefer depending on the environment that you're recording in and depending on your voice, as well as what you want to hear from your audio. So at this point, you can start changing the gate if you would like to have a gate active right from your Voicemeeter Banana. This works just like a gate that would operate in OBS, but simply right from your mixer. I simply set this to a point where I hear no feedback whenever I select A1. If I can hear no feedback and no outside sound, then I have simply done enough, and that is all I need to do. I also move my FX audio down in the more low end. You can also add a compressor, but since I use a compressor within OBS, I prefer to be able to mess with the ratio and change what my compressor has on OBS. This may not be your preference, but if you would like to use it, you can use it here as well. The next thing I use to influence my audio is actually filters through OBS. If you select the cog and click on filters, there are a few audio filters that you can use and change to help decide where you want your audio to be. Of course, at any point in this that you feel like you've changed something, I would recommend testing it either by listening to your own microphone or recording and then playing that back. The first filter that I have on OBS is my compressor. The most important topics in this being your ratio and your threshold. To simply explain these, the ratio describes how much your audio will be compressed, whereas the threshold is when that compression begins. If you want to use the defaults here, you may, but I suggest at least changing the threshold to a point where your audio begins to need being compressed. I prefer to do it just below when my audio reaches those yellow points right here. You'll see at -20, it starts to reach those yellows, so my compression will start at -25 decibels. The next section I have here is my noise gate, with a close and open threshold being the two most important steps in these sections. The close threshold is where no audio will be heard. Like I showed you with the gate on my Voicemeeter, I want this to be the point where any ambient audio, outside audio, or in my case, the outside traffic can't be heard. The open threshold is when you want to start hearing that audio. For me, my audio tends to start right around that -35 at its lowest, and can be anywhere between that -20. So that is it for my guide. I hope it helped you. If you like the guide, please drop it a like and subscribe to the YouTube page so we have more videos which we can use. If you have any questions, feel free to drop by either our Discord or the Twitch community and ask these questions live.